Now, where can you work? What kind of opportunities exist for companies? Who is hiring developer relations and developer marketing? And what do they need from each of these people? Now, there are two kinds of companies who will need DevRel and DevMar. They are called developer first companies and developer plus companies. Who are they? The first, developer first companies. These are companies whose primary focus is to create and sell products designed specifically for developers. The reason they exist is for developers. Remove developers, they will shut down. They need developers to get revenue, need developers to scale. The entire business is surrounded by developers. These are developer-first companies. Example is Stripe. Their primary focus is developers, although they have business on the side, but their primary focus is developers. Twilio is developer-first company. Twilio is heavily developer-first. APIs for calls, they are developer-first. MongoDB, developer-first. Android, developer-first. And many others, utility developer-first, for mostly those on the C# part, game development. That's where Unity is all about in that space. They're front-end masters. So these are companies that are developer first. All their budgets is how do we get developers to use our products. Their number one priority, their number one customer, their number one users are developers. These people or these companies are safer to walk in or get a job at because everything they are doing is they easily understand how developer works. It's easy to get a structure in these places. These are developer-first companies. How you structure, the next model is about developer marketing strategy. How you create a strategy for DevRel and DevMar in a developer-first company is not entirely the same as how you will structure it in a developer plus company. So if you're getting to look at a job, that's part of our conversation during the last model. If you're looking for a job, an interview, you need to understand first, do I want to work in a developer-first company or a developer plus company? Know this first and then begin to understand how they work. Now, front-end masters is different from all of the things mentioned. Why? Because Stripe is a product. It's a product-based company. Twilio is a product-based company. MongoDB is product-based. Unity is product-based. Android is product-based. Front-end masters is service-based. Education is like Udemy, is like Udacity, but their primary focus is developers, front-end developers. Now, if you want to, definitely part of the misconception is that developer marketing, DevRel all have to be in a product-based company. You can actually have a developer relation strategy for a non-product company. Front-end as an example, education, right? Education for developers, they have courses all over for React, Angular, there's a whole lot going on there. They would need a developer marketing manager to convince developers of the need to keep upskilling or the need to get educational content based. They have two models, B2B to C. So these are all examples of developer-first companies whose primary focus is to sell to developers and create for developers. The second is developer plus companies. These companies are companies whose primary focus is to create and sell products for B2B or B2C, but additionally, that what they sell can also be used by developers. What this means in essence is the company's core focus are not developers, but what they are selling, what they are building can still be used by developers and they carry developers along. Example is Microsoft. Microsoft entire is B2B, they're enterprise-based company. That's where the money is coming, they're focused on. But they still have other services that developers will leverage, and they're supporting developers. Google is the same thing, they're all enterprise as well, but then developers can use the product. Android's example. Salesforce, the same thing. Amazon, Flutterwave is B2B, purely B2B, enterprise merchant, but they have an API developer section where developers can build and then sell build products for B2B as well. Apple, the same thing, other people as well in this case. So developer plus companies, primary focus is B2B2C. Now, there is a notion, right? There is a saying, not saying, I think it's not a misconception, it depends. But it's easier for companies who are developer plus to misunderstand the importance of DevRel. If there is a recession right now, like mentioned earlier, and want to sack people, want to reduce staff strength, Developer Plus is likely going to attack DevRel first because their primary focus. Their primary focus is B2B, but developers are additional. So they will most likely going to attack them there. Developers company understand that they are living, their cash flow is tied to developers and technical audiences. They will not easily go and look for DevRel to fire first. They'll find other places to reduce staff strength. Now, that is one of the cons of working for a developers companies. But then most of this on the screen, like Google, Amazon, have really mastered and created different, section for developers. But at the same time, their primary focus is a primary focus, and that is where they get most of their most of their cash flow from and profit as well. So that is the difference between developer plus and developer first companies. How you work here in developer first is not the same as how work is being done in developer plus. In terms of the strategy, in terms of the budgets, in terms of the marketing, in terms of everything as well to attract developers because of the two different objectives of this entire of the two kinds of companies. But now, because next year we're going to be seeing a whole lot of attention given to the developer economy, and so companies really are understanding how developers are important to them, and so our companies in Developer Plus will definitely step up their game to assist more developers and hire more DevRel people to manage and get to developers as soon and as fast as they can.